So here I used two variables to accept the input for addition of two numbers. Okay, that is A and B. So this A and B we can say it as identifiers. Identifiers means it is name of the C program elements like variables, functions, arrays, structures, etc. Okay, so the name of the C program elements are known as identifiers. Identifiers consist of alphabets, underscore and numbers, etc. And no identifier starts with a number. It can start with either an alphabet or with an underscore character. It can the name of the identifier can be up to 31 characters. Here I used the variable name as A and B, only one character. Okay, here I have mentioned the type of the data. This is known as data type. This program is to add two integer numbers. So the type of the data is integer. So I mentioned the type of the data is integer. So here in C program we are using the data type int for integer. So this is known as declaration statements. Whatever the variables we are using in this program, that must be declared. What is meant by declaration? We will reserving the memory space for all the variables which we are using in the program. So for this A, in the modern architectures, it will store 4 bytes memory, or it will reserve 4 bytes of the memory for this variable A and for this variable B. So when a user enters the input from the keyboard, suppose it is 5, that 5 will be stored in the memory reserved for this variable A, and the next input will be stored in the memory reserved for the variable B. Okay, the next statement, we have to read the input from the keyboard to the program. So for that we are using the statement scanf. Okay, so scanf is a function so that the parentheses are used and it must end with a semicolon. So in this function we are putting the arguments as actually we are reading the input from the keyboard and we are going to save in the space for A and B. That means we should mention the address of the variables in the scanf so that input values from the keyboard will go directly to that address in the memory. So the syntax to pass these arguments as this. So we use double quotes. Inside this we will use %d space %d. What is this %d? It is known as format specifier. That means the system or the compiler must understand the type of the inputs, so that we are putting this format specifiers here. For the integer we are using %d. If the input type was float, that means if input was 4.0 plus 5.5, that is float values. So type will be float here. So we can mention %f and %f. Why we put 2 times this %d here? Here we have 2 inputs A and B. So how many numbers of inputs are there? As many numbers of the format specifiers must be included in the scanf function. And in the scanf function we are passing the address of the memory space reserved for the variables. So here we will mention it as ampersand A and ampersand B. This ampersand represents address. Okay, so this is about the scanf statement. And now what is the purpose? Here we have read the inputs. Now we have to compute. So what is the computation logic here? Just an addition of two numbers, that means A plus B, and ending with a semicolon. Okay, now what is where we will store this addition of or the result of this statement? We didn't reserve the space for the result. So for that we need another variable that also must be declared, then only the space will be reserved. So C is used here and the result of this statement will be assigned to the variable, third variable C. Okay, C or some any variable you can use. Okay, so C is equal to A plus B. So in the space again we are using the type integer for the C2 because when we add two integer numbers, the result also will be the integer. So that we are declaring C here as integer with the integer data type. Okay, so that result will be there in the memory. Now we have to display that result into the screen, then only the user can see the result. Okay, so for that we are using another function printf and ending with semicolon. Again we have to tell the format specifier of the result. It's again integer, so that we putting %d here, comma, the name of the variable which is storing the result. So here in the printf statement we never put the address of the variable, we just tell the name of the variable. In the scanf statement we must present what the address of the variables. Now the program is over. Now we can save the program and we have to compile this program. What is the need of compiling this program? This program is written in high level language. This will not be understood by the system. So it must be converted into the low level language. So to convert that we have to compile the program. So in order to compile the program we have to go to the terminal. Okay, select the terminal. In Windows it is known as command prompt. In Ubuntu it is known as terminal. Take the terminal screen. Okay, actually this program is saved in our home folder. Suppose if we want to save in another folder, so I will make a folder known as C programs. This C programs folder is existed in the home folder, and I am moving this sample program to where this sample program to this C programs. I am moving this to C programs. Okay, now in the folder C program we have the sample.c. Now again move on to the terminal. Actually this terminal is currently, the cursor is placed currently in the home folder. Okay, when you open this terminal, this will be in the home folder. So where our program is stored, it is in the C program folder, right? It is in the C programs folder. So we have to come to that folder, then only we can compile the program. So to move from the home directory to another directory, we use a command known as cd. Cd means change directory, space, then to which folder we want to move, that is C programs. Okay, then make sure the spelling is right. Then now we can see the cursor is in C programs. So inside the C programs we have the program known as sample.c. we have to compile it. So we are using here this GCC compiler. We have various compilers are there, GCC compiler, Turbo C compiler, so many compilers are there. I am using here GCC compiler. So the command to compile the C program is cc space file name. What is our file name? Sample dot the extension. It is a C program. So this is the command to compile the program. Okay, so when we compile this program, what is happening? Our high level language will be converted to the low level language. Okay, now open the C programs. You can see another file known as a.out, which is the executable file of this sample.c. So now we can execute this program. So the output will be obtained. Okay, how to run the program now? It is /file name a.out. Name of the executable file is a.out. So /a.out will give the result. Okay, so first of all we have to provide the input. I am giving here 3 and 5 as the input. So the answer we got here is 8. Okay, now what is the problem here? It is not user friendly because no messages are displayed there. Suppose one user is trying to run this program, what is happening? No messages are there. User does not understand what will be the input, or what is this program, those things will not be understood. So we have to make this program user friendly. So for that, just put some messages in the printf statement like enter 2 numbers, enter 2 numbers, so that messages will be displayed in the output screen and user can feel user friendly. And we can print this output as the sum is printf the sum is. Okay, now compile the program again, then only the modifications we have done to the program will be reflected to the object file. Don't run the program directly by ./i.out because it will provide the previous results itself. So in order to reflect the modifications made in the program, we have to compile it again and then run. Okay, so then message, we can see the message. So enter 2 numbers, so the program user will understand. I have user has to enter 2 numbers and 3 and 4 are. So here is the result, the sum is 7. And in the same line, our folder, our current directory position is printed. If you want to print this position, this line in the next line, the sentence in the next line, we can put one new line character /n. That means there is that sentence will be displayed in the next line. Okay, let's check it. So that the sum is 9, the result is displayed in a neat manner. Okay, thank you.